Shout out to LFOD Radio.
LFOD Radio.
LFOD Radio.
We out here, live free or die radio.
And shout out to my man Uncle Sam at LFOD Radio.
You are now tuned in to LFOD Radio, live free or die. I am your host, Uncle Sam. Tonight, we are joined by Sam, Show, and Mikey, hosts of It's Lit Boston. They are the recipients of the Boston Music Award for Music Podcast of the Year in 2019. And we linked up with them last year to talk about LFOD, and now they come here to share their story with y'all. So I am also joined by A-Ball. What's happening, man?
Yo, man, how's it going?
I'm great.
That's good. It's good to hear.
Got this pavement coffee flowing through my veins.
Excellent. Why else are you great?
It's been a good day. I don't know, I've been getting a little more balanced.
Balanced? Okay. I like it.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's all the LFOD.
Yeah, we always talk about balance. Yeah, I've been losing it, but...
Really, dude?
Well, it's more like it's a frantic juggle at times, I think, but like, I don't know, I'm trying to just smooth things over and try to streamline everything, but, you know, time spans just collect together. They just, it's just like things get uncontrollably busy within a span of 24 hours, and you're like, well, all right, we're just doing it. Like,
that's the danger of living in the moment sometimes.
Yeah. Too many night jobs, too.
Yeah.
Could be worse, though.
Could be a lot worse, dude.
We're fighting for better lives out here, right?
Exactly. I mean, we have some very esteemed guests about to join us. Obviously, we're like on the right trajectory, which is what I've learned, you know, since I got here today.
Credentialed guests.
Credentialed. So I almost feel like we shouldn't even do much of an intro because, like, we got to get into this. It's now March. It's March 24th now, which is wild.
It is.
So any shout-outs to your future self?
Get your sleep, Alex. Yeah, that's it.
All right, that's up. If you're tuned in on the broadcast, you can hear past episodes on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Play, Stitcher, LFODradio.com, or pretty much any other podcast app. There's about 160 other episodes up now. I would recommend subscribing to get those new episodes right away. And you can hit us up at LFOD Radio on everything or LFOD Life on Facebook. We do need to shout out Pavement for the coffee, the record company for the space, and as always, our patrons. If you don't know what that means, patreon.com/LFOD Life. We're going to get into some music and we'll be back with It's Lit Boston.
Word, let's kick the jams.
All right, we're back, LFOD Radio. We set things off with new music straight from our inbox. Artists hit us with clean records at submissions@lfodradio.com. We listen to them all. That's where we meet y'all. Right now we got Sam, Show, and Mikey with us.
What's up, y'all?
Award winners. You know. Look at the camera. Award winners.
I already know. I already know how this is going.
You know the vibes.
2019.
I'm doing everything right there. I wanted to curse right there.
Winners.
Let me ask y'all, have y'all ever seen anybody write on that cup?
This is only the second time we've had cups.
But it's the first time you've seen it written.
Yeah.
Sam's a one of one.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were just gonna scribble it on. But you got that nice.
No, he's designing that.
Award winning, baby.
Right.
Yeah, he's designing
Did you
that.
draw the logo?
I did.
Yeah, you did the whole thing.
I actually did.
I did
You
not
forgot
know
the
that.
fire on the eye.
I know. I was gonna do it, but
We don't have any red
It's just gonna be
Sharpies.
nostalgic in a few years.
It will.
See how he thinks? See how this
Can we
plan
keep
works?
that cup after you leave as a souvenir?
No, we
were
always
here.
sign the cup.
Yeah.
Leave it here.
Yeah.
We'll take a picture with it.
It'll be worth $1 million in like 4 years.
2 million.
4 years.
2 million.
Talk that
Don't sell us short.
Talk that talk.
Come on, baby.
Facts.
Come on now.
Before we get any further, can you guys just introduce yourselves so people know your voices?
Go ahead, Mike.
I'm Mikey.
Wholesome Mike.
That's wholesome, Mike.
I'm wholesome Mikey.
Wholesome, yo, I like it.
Yeah, see? Wholesome Mike.
Good wholesome content.
Told you.
yeah.
Told you.
It's gonna stick. There we go.
I'm Show. I go by IM_Show, but my name is Show.
I'm Sam. They call me Zaddy. They call me whatever you want me to be. Just be respectful. Just make sure you put award winning in front of it.
Everything.
Be safe.
Oh my God. Well, I have in my notes here, congrats on the BMA, but like you congratulated yourself.
There we go.
That's what
We talk about it all the time. Like, hell yeah, we won that.
Until there's a new one,
Yeah.
it's us.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like the belt you're carrying.
Yeah, WWE
That's
shit.
right.
Hell, oh, damn, my
The
bad.
cup is yours for the year.
You know what this is? We're NWO.
Ooh.
Did you feel like
get it.
outsiders?
We did, yeah. Because
Wait.
honestly,
In what way? In what way?
What, for
In the way
award?
that you're calling yourselves the NWO.
Okay.
Definitely, because the way we are, people told us not to act this way.
Mm.
They told us to be,
PC.
super humble, be PC, don't step on any toes. And we're like, no, screw you guys.
Yeah.
We're gonna be us, and if
Facts.
you don't like us, we'll step over you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel me?
Don't deal with us.
Word. I feel like that's the LFOD way almost.
Ooh,
It's a living free.
Free or die.
Oh, look at you! You in promo mode.
He got that off. He got that good. I like that.
It's anything about freedom. Like lately, since I came on the show, I'm just all about it.
That's what you
Freedom.
have to be.
That's it.
Embrace that. So, how did you guys? So I don't know the history of ItsLitBoston. I know pieces, but I'm curious. Why did you start?
I started it because I honestly dislike PC conversation. I feel like a lot of artists and people in the city do have interviews, but nobody's coming from like a genuine, like vulnerable place. So with It's Lit, we just wanted people to come on, be themselves, feel welcome, and nobody judge you at all. And when you leave, you feel like you're a part of something.
Okay.
I like that.
Look how good that sounds. That's award winning right
Yeah,
there.
that's beautiful.
Feel me?
Like
day.
every
I never had my words called beautiful, so this feels different. I like it though.
yeah.
Shout out to A-Ball.
Word. Well, thank you. Thank you,
Come on,
Sam.
A-Ball. Listen, I got you.
Word.
I got you.
Word. Yeah.
So your goal was to provide a space for people to just
Be themselves.
let loose, be
Yeah.
themselves. I like how you said you feel like you're a part of something, which feeds into a couple things. But before we keep going, you've had a big team that has changed over the years. I know people have been in and out since you got here, just coming in. Do you want to shout everyone out? Like, let people know how did it start? Who did it start? Just quick history.
All right. Well, I mean, I won't shout
Origin
everybody
story.
out because I might forget names. People might get a little sensitive. But shout out to everybody that was here when it started, and shout out to everybody who's here now.
Nice.
And life, you go through things, and you witness and you experience people. And however we started in the beginning is not how we are now. We have to learn to appreciate things and learn to appreciate the moments. And I appreciate 2019 because we won an award. And now we're on the LFOD radio.
Word.
Look how I'm looking at the camera. Look at that.
He's literally not looking at us.
Gazing in my eyes. Because I need the audience to know. Because
He's not caring
I've
at
seen
all.
the IG videos and I appreciate how you guys have leveled up. That's why I like the way you guys do your videos now. You got A-Ball in it. I need you to break dance one day.
He's more of a crumper.
Yeah.
You crump?
Yeah, he crumps.
Popping
Okay.
is my original art.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I gotta get you some face
We'll
paint.
shoot something on.
Listen, we
that.
go right on the
Newberry.
steps. We go right on the steps. I've
Yeah.
been waving at people for no reason, showing them my cup.
I like doing stairs exercises where you just dance and go down to each step.
Oh yeah, you a real dancer.
We can shoot something.
All right, yeah. All right, we're with it.
I do it for real.
Let's get it.
Real people. Shout out.
Yo, he's on it.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm on
I
it.
like it.
That wasn't even.
I don't even know what's going
intentional.
on.
I love it.
I'm killing
I love
it.
the energy. See,
I love it.
the energy's just different, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Millie. Shout out to Nightlife K. Shout out to AP Black.
The whole team in the squad right
Yeah.
now.
Word.
Part of the team where everybody feels like a part of something.
That's good.
You know.
That's good.
So if you ever invite us anywhere, we will be deep.
I had a feeling. I knew. I was like, I think they're gonna come with like 5 people. He was like, usually people tell us if they bring extra.
No, we gotta
I was like,
surprise you. We gotta
I knew
surprise.
it.
We gotta surprise you with our energy.
Yeah.
Word.
Period. Because wherever
I like
you see
it.
us travel, we all travel together as a family. Period.
I was gonna say, like, let me know, like, you guys are a family. Like,
Yeah.
That's super cool. I like it. So I was curious about your podcast guests because when I listen, it's like it's just like mics with a whole group of people, and like it's like, wow, you guys like just sound like genuine friends, and like it's almost like someone was like, yo, can I come chill? And you're like, oh, we're about to do a podcast. Like, you want to be in it? Like, and then like you just throw them on, and it sounds dope,
That's
Like,
almost exactly how it turns out, pretty much, every week.
Go ahead, show.
I'm letting y'all get it off too.
so I guess my question is like, what's the whole like how do you guys pick your guests, or like what do you what do you like?
We gotta like
frame
it.
it.
We gotta like it. Like we gotta
Word.
been watching you for a while. You know, we don't really. I personally don't like to be asked to come on the show because then it's not genuine to me.
Right.
You know, but if I've been watching you, I'll reach out, and that's for anybody. I don't really care what genre you're in. If I like it, I'll send it to Sam and Mikey. If they like it, I'll reach out. Or he'll reach out, whichever, and set it up. Sometimes he'll surprise us and won't even tell us.
Yep.
We do that to each other all the time. So as long as we like what you're doing, and your music or whatever it is, or what you're doing for the community, we'll reach out to you.
Yep.
Solid.
That's all it is. Yeah.
I like it.
And you bring people back again a lot. Is
You
it
have
like
to. I think it's necessary.
Yeah.
You know, to show like friends of the show type thing. You know, like it's not just we talked to them one time and we never talk to them again. Nah, we have a relationship with these people.
Yeah. Like I was noticing, Real P was in like 5 of those episodes. Like maybe it's like, yo, you guys are clearly just like kicking it with each other.
Yeah.
I like it.
But
Like,
that's the whole aesthetic.
yeah.
And it's good to see the growth of the artist from
When we first started.
before
Yeah.
till now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like we've had Cake Swag on twice now, and from when she first came on to where she is now,
Y'all
Our
were not
approach is
very
very-
friendly to her first time.
I don't consider it not being friendly. I think it's just that's the first time that she ever heard that,
Yeah.
and that being said to her, like face to face.
We're not
You know
yes
what I'm
men.
saying? Yeah, nah.
No, we'll never be yes.
Because my friends get that same approach. If they do something that's not like up to par, I'm gonna tell them.
Yeah.
So that's all that was.
Word.
Even though she said the reason why she did that project, that doesn't change my perspective really.
Right.
You know, so I respected what she was doing, but as a consumer, I don't really care about that. I respect it, but I don't care. You know, the sound it wasn't where it was, so that's all it was.
A dose of reality is
Yeah,
very important.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's it. And she leveled up big time. She killed it this
Super
year. She
level.
killed it in 2019.
Are y'all taking credit for that? Was
Nah,
that started on the award winning?
That was all her.
No.
No way. No, that was all her. She put all the work in herself. Shout out to Cass for managing the whole team over there. Like they did their thing. You know. Take no credit for nothing. Only for what we do.
No,
That's
no.
it.
2020?
Yeah.
We're taking credit.
Artist development. ItsLitBoston.
Hey.
Hey, that's why we do the artist review.
Yes.
That's exactly why. So that it's not just people that we like. If somebody puts a song to you and we listen to a track, like I said, it's something that's not as good there, we'll invite you up for that because people need to hear that also, and then people need to see us doing that too. Like it's not just people we like, you know, because somebody might like it, he might like it, and I might not like it. You know what I'm saying? But we'll say why we don't like this. You know what I'm saying? Not to remove your motivation, just be like, oh, you're good, that's good, but maybe you need to figure out something else here to make it all click.
Yeah.
That's so necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every artist, I think, needs like someone who isn't, like a yes,
Yes,
man.
man.
Yeah.
Because we're the consumer.
Yeah.
Like we're fans of you, but we're consumers also. So you could take our critique, but you could use it as constructive criticism.
Yeah.
You know, we're not
Exactly.
ever gonna like shun somebody's craft
No.
or say
Like, just
stuff is
quit,
trash.
right?
Yeah.
That's
no,
too
we're not
deep,
gonna
you
do
know?
that.
No,
But we're gonna
yeah.
be real and be genuine with it.
Yeah.
Non-biased critique.
Yes.
All the way through.
Yes.
And you know why you don't like it, which is important.
Yeah, which I think is
You
very
know.
important. You should be able to like
you can't just
vocalize
write it
why.
off. and be
Yeah.
like, pure negative.
That's why
for
we
no
like to do it
reason.
on the show, like even on camera and whatnot, like be genuine with people and we'll give you our critique right then and right there. We're not gonna wait until the camera's off and did this verse this one. No, it's
Exactly.
20.
I mean, we had to
Yeah.
learn how to not be so brash and abrasive, like
Yes.
AKA myself.
Yes.
You know, what I'm saying? I'm talking to myself.
Yeah.
You know, because
Your delivery.
yeah.
Changes a bit.
It had to definitely like change because I didn't see what we were doing as being artists or creatives ourselves. It was just we were just talking. You know, so I would sometimes say, "Oh, that shit was trash," and you know, like. And he would tell me like, you know, that's kind of harsh to be saying because what if somebody said, "What we doing is trash," and I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you're right on that." You know what I'm saying? Because as creatives or as artists, whatever it is, when we do something outside of the 9 to 5, it is our own creative level of doing things, and everybody starts off at the bottom somehow until they get to where they need to excel.
And if you say it's trash, no one's gonna listen to what you have to say after.
Yeah, exactly. They don't want to hear that. Yeah, you know.
But you gotta
So
listen now. We award winners.
yeah, but I'm still not gonna say your shit.
No, I mean, but if someone goes, oh, they say it's trash.
Yeah, we're not gonna say that. We're not all end all be all. You know what I'm saying? It's just
I feel you, but if I'm gonna give someone criticism, it's because I care. And
yeah,
want them to
exactly.
be
It's coming
better.
from a loving place. It's not
Exactly.
If I don't care, I'll just all right. Cool.
Yeah, that's
I'll
it.
find
That was
something
cool.
small to compliment. No, that was cool how you
Exactly.
said that word that way.
And I think that's the best way. Like, if you notice all the shows that are like on Netflix and stuff right now, all the judging music stuff, the way that they're judging is not saying like, "Oh, your stuff is trash." It's like, "Okay, that's great what you did there, but I think you're missing these elements to take you to that next
Yeah.
level." So
Can
that's-
artists submit to that piece of what you guys do? Is that a place where they can reach out?
Yeah. I mean, right now we've been telling them like it's not that we won't reach out to you. I listen to most of the music that is sent.
Okay.
If I don't reach back, it's probably because I was like, yeah, I can't. I don't want to. That's not really where it's at for me right now.
I'll tell people all the time, like, it's not for me, but I'll still share it.
Right.
Because what might not be for me may work for Show, may work for Mikey.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to say it's trash. It's just not my, taste in music.
Right.
But, teach their own.
Where do people reach out to you guys?
ItsLitBoston podcast at gmail.com.
Nice.
Yeah.
And at ItsLitBoston everywhere?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
Go follow, go subscribe. Look how I look at the camera. Media training 101, baby.
He looking deep.
He's sharpened up. He's sharpened up.
You see the whole change
And
in
then,
gear and
and then
everything.
the eyes switch up. Yeah, you got to
Ben
watch
Stiller.
Ben Stiller, Zoolander.
Zoolander, yeah.
I can turn left though. Look.
Blue Steel, Blue
You know
Steel.
what I mean? Blue Steel.
crazy.
Yeah, the lips too.
It's lit.
Yeah, so we're gonna head into some more music. We'll be back after this at ItsLitBoston everywhere. You guys checking DMs or?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
We definitely do check all the DMs. If you do slide in them, slide in appropriately.
Don't send us a link.
Yeah, don't send us no links.
At least say hi.
And if you're not,
I don't know when you just get the link.
Yeah, it's like, what is this?
I'll stop what I'm doing and
Hacker for
watch
sure.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
You're just
No.
like, I'm not opening it.
it's like if you do come in our DMs, right? If you're not following us, I probably won't reply.
Okay.
Neither
Yeah.
one of us. Like if you're not following or subscribing, like why should we pay attention to you? Because sometimes you have to wean out the fake people.
Hold on,
Like, oh,
hold on. We don't do it for looks.
No, we don't.
No.
Right.
Plain and simple.
At all.
You
Yeah.
see that you're genuine about what you're trying to do, because it'll come off
Yeah.
automatically.
And don't lie. If you say, "Oh yeah, I love your episodes," I'm gonna ask you which one.
Right.
And I'll put you in a lie.
Yeah.
Real quick.
Easy. That's it.
And I'll screenshot it.
You get the little stamp.
And embarrassing.
Expose them.
Yeah, like, you have to. It's like if you don't publicly do something for people, like if you don't publicly critique them, they're not going to change. They're going to slide in some of the podcasts' DMs, say I love their podcast also, but I'm not going to ever let that slide.
Nah.
Never.
We're gonna talk about this public critique when we come back.
Oh yeah, we could do that.
For sure. Yeah, we'll be back after this. We're about to get into some new music. If you want to reach us, submissions at LFODradio.com. Keep it clean. All right, we're back. LFOD Radio. We still got ItsLitBoston very much in the building. So, you guys have been talking already a bit about, well, you've clearly sharpened up since we met you, and since you started even. And I picked up early that you guys kind of have been studying the podcast space and the scene as you go. Like, what's been your approach to, fine tuning here?
Main thing was watching how the big guys do it. Understanding how they move, understanding how to build a persona, understanding how to build a reach. So for us, it was understanding like our favorite podcast is Joe Budden podcast.
Yeah.
But we also look at Charlemagne and just see how the dynamic is with the Breakfast Club and stuff like that. So we realized we're very similar to what they do.
Yeah.
So we're now building our own personas off of that. One of the greatest advice I got from somebody, I forgot, I don't want to mess up her name. Oh, Deidre from 96.9 was, it's okay to emulate somebody to help you build who you are. That's how the radio personalities get to their stage where they become themselves. So if you look at how Romero started, he was emulating somebody until he figured out how to become himself. You know what I'm saying? To now he was a freaking Puerto Rican before, and now he's Romero. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much the route we took, where we were kind of outlandish in the beginning, but once we started understanding, especially understanding the Boston scene and how people received information, it helped us direct us in the way that we are now.
Right. It's different from music too. I feel like if you try to come up and be like, "Oh, I'm going to be a Drake type artist," it's not going to work because there's already a Drake.
So exactly.
But like, you can't help but bring your own unique qualities to like you can try to emulate someone, but it's really just going to be you, sort of combined with what you're trying to do, right? Like,
exactly.
I think that's neat. I never even thought about like who do I look up to in the podcast world? 'Cause I don't even know. Like,
That's your homework for this
yeah,
week.
I gotta find someone who I need to like emulate. Hey man, I've been having homework,
He does his homework though, which is why we rock with him.
I mean, if you already have a personality, it's more like how you are, Sam. like you're a mellow person. You know what I'm saying? And you kind of
On
stay
camera.
consistent. On camera. Yeah.
Listen.
But you come off and you like your level is right where it's at all the time. You're consistent. So now when you hear your voice, you stand out now.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? That's what I mean. Like, how do you stand out amongst everything else that's going on?
Isn't he like
That's what you gotta
seriously
look for.
calm?
Yo, he's the type of
He's-
person I
yeah.
feel like he could rob a bank and then walk into a coffee shop like nothing happened.
Nothing.
Yeah,
It would
exactly.
freak me out. Like, he just
You wouldn't even notice.
Yeah.
He's like, finish your bank slip. They're like calling the police about it. You're like, what?
But that's good though. That's what makes your voice stand out.
Yeah.
What makes
Word.
you stand out? That's the main thing. There's a whole bunch of us out here. But what makes you stand out from everybody else in certain things? So that's what we were focused on, and that's how we hit. We are well.
Y'all do have voices, like distinct
Yeah,
voices.
for real.
Thank you.
Honestly, I have to say, like, when I listen to you guys' podcast, I feel like any other like audio podcast, eventually I'll like tune out a little bit, just because I'm ADHD mostly. But like that doesn't happen with you guys. Like you have like
Hell yeah, we'll
energy
take
in your
that, bro.
voices. Just
Hell
like,
yeah,
out of purity.
stop all day. Where's Amanda?
Shout out to Amanda.
I'm gonna hold this against her.
We miss you, man.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to Amanda.
Nah,
Because I
for
remember
real time.
at the BMA, she came up to me. She was like, "Yo, I really appreciate what you guys do because what you guys do is you give people a voice and you don't judge people and you take them and accept them for who they are." And I was like, "Yo,
And we
I'm trying to
learn
make me cry here." Cut that
And we
out.
learn a lot from our guests.
Yes,
A lot.
Yeah.
That's
we
nice.
learn and we unlearn. A lot.
Yeah. Big
Shout out
time.
to Amanda.
Yeah.
That's,
The whole crew.
yeah. Check our episode if you haven't, because
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
a big.
Yeah,
we
big
did have a
yeah.
big
That was like a
learning
3-hour
experience.
episode.
Yeah, it was the longest
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
I think it was one of the few we broke into two pieces.
Yes.
Two episodes. Cause
Yeah.
It was part 1, part 2.
Yeah.
That's cool too, because I definitely, you guys were, I feel like it's been a long conversation with your audience as well as you've gone, like, and at a certain point, I remember seeing you guys, it happened for you guys. You kind of realized that you had responsibilities to go with it, and it was cool to see you accept that and then grow with it. Can you talk a bit about when and how that happened and what that changed about your perspective?
What episode would you think changed that for us?
When do you think we accepted that responsibility? Because that was
Look how you threw that question back. That's a
I
one winning right
remember-
there.
Good question, yeah.
That's a one winning spinning right there.
Just throwing it back at us.
I
When did you
guess
notice
it would
it?
be, well, because I know we've all texted off chain, and I think we were maybe texting about things that were going on, and because I think, I don't know if we were just kind of giving feedback to
Yeah,
each
of course,
other.
yeah.
And then I think I remember like around that time, I think someone else, I don't know, there was another conversation, and I remember one of you guys posted something about, I don't know if you like thought you were journalists and maybe you didn't before that. I don't want to throw that word at you, but I feel like that's a word. I remember one of you saying, like, he's looking at me like, nah, I didn't.
No. I'm recollecting.
But I do think there was a point where you guys were just, when was it? I think it was, you were commenting on things that maybe you didn't have the full knowledge of.
Okay.
And then at a certain point you were like, wait, if we say stuff, we gotta
Be outside.
we have a bigger reach, and like
Yeah.
people are using us as a reference sometimes.
Then I think you're probably talking about either the Brandy Blaze episode or the original Amanda Shea episode, which is Amanda Shea on it.
I don't know a specific one, but
Yeah.
I know something changed for you guys.
Brandy Blaze and Amanda Shea were one of the first people besides Red Shades that said we can't really be talking about things if we're not outside and seeing what's going on. You know, and for me, that hit home because it's like saying I wasn't on the block. I was outside. I was on the porch being a houseboy.
Yeah.
I ain't like that at all. You know, so, and she was right. They're all right. Like, we can't have critiques and talk about a scene that we're not involved in.
Yep.
You know, and that's for everything. And since we're talking about music and talking about the Boston music scene, we should be outside.
Yep.
Mingling with you guys, seeing what's going on, so we actually have accurate information to be given to our listeners.
Okay.
You know, so that I think that's when that changed. Like, okay, I appreciate that actually. That was good. You know, because from then, this is where we are now.
Yeah, I remember when I first met you, you were like, I don't want to go to this stuff. Like, we were having a joke. Like,
yeah.
I'm not trying to go to things.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I'm going to get up in the morning. Like, I don't care
Exactly,
about your
yeah.
concert. Like,
Hey, 1,000.
Sometimes that's a move.
Correct. Yeah,
Sometimes
you know, and I feel like that was just ignorance, not fully understanding. Because we didn't realize. I personally didn't realize this is what podcasting would turn into for me, or for us. Period. And we was just talking ish. That was what it was. But once we started talking about music, things changed.
Yeah.
It wasn't just a regular conversation anymore. It was like these people take this seriously. Yeah. Like obviously we all grew up around hip hop, but I didn't grow up being around people from my city that did hip hop and took it seriously.
Got you.
So now that's what changed the perspective. Like, okay, these people actually are being affected by the words that I'm saying and how we view things. So maybe we should figure out how to, help out instead of bring down.
I feel like I know when we changed. When we shout out to Connor, when we was on the Golden Deers, that summit thing.
Oh yeah,
That's when we took a turn because we started taking our craft serious and we didn't want to misuse our platform.
Yeah.
So with us being there, like one of the most known podcasts and people walking up to us and saying that they know us and they've listened to our podcast, that's when I feel like we started taking it more serious. And we started doing our homework on artists, lyrics, on journalists or whoever we were having up there. We wanted to make sure we were well knowledgeable on that.
Yeah.
And we didn't want to look like fools. At all.
Big facts.
So
big facts.
that goes a long way too.
Big facts. Yeah.
Do you guys feel like you switched something up when you guys changed like your furniture setup?
We changed
right.
Everything.
Like, you went from
we've changed like 4
couches to
times.
stools.
We
right?
went from studios.
Yeah.
We used to shoot on at Cyber Sound on Newberry Street.
Shout out
and
to
we were the only podcast that was shooting out of there because they didn't do podcasts at first. Like if you go on their website, now there is podcasts. I'm taking credit for that. Because you got, I see it like this, right? Some people call it bragging, but I feel like you work too hard to be humble.
That's
So
the thing.
don't ever let somebody shame you for acknowledging your greatness. Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah. Ooh, you on party today.
Yeah,
I see.
fire.
Sam's in his bag.
Feel me? But that's all it really is. But, we took a turn when we did the GDP thing. And
That was a great event.
that was definitely a dope event.
Shout out to Connor for that.
We did a whole lot of networking and whatnot. And what we wanted to do was build up the community, like the podcast community and the music community, because we feel like since way back when, I don't know who started it, but the city artists and podcasters and people just who don't network with each other. So we're trying to change that and change the demographic and make people feel welcomed. Like if you come down to any of our things, like when you come to play spades, you beat us.
It's on record?
You beat us. I'll give you
Wow.
that. I'll give you that.
Spade what?
You
1-0,
twice.
undefeated.
You
1-0.
twice.
1-0.
But
First game ever.
I'll give you that.
Undefeated.
I'll give you that. But did you
Deep
feel,
inside his head.
He did. But did you feel like at home, like you didn't feel judged at all? Like you came in there, you played spades, your first time, nobody clowned you or anything like
We
that?
talked about it on the air after. I liked that your potluck was a networking thing, but it wasn't a networking thing.
Yeah.
Like you did have name tags, but you made no effort to introduce anybody to anybody else or do it was
That's the
like,
whole point.
yo,
That's
you're
it.
at the party and like I just showed up.
That's the
started
whole
meeting
point.
people. I had a spades partner by the end of it.
And this is not a
Like,
knock to anybody who throws networking events. It's just for ItsLitBoston. We're not trying to. Take the tie off.
Yeah.
Right.
You guys have
cool
the
out.
genuine vibe.
Yeah, come cool out, enjoy the vibe, and most of the music we're playing is Boston music.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I
what
mean?
we honed in on that. Like,
Yeah, big time.
Like Show and I, we were discussing that before. Like we used to play everything, but we're like, nah, we should just play our music that we have here in the state because we always disliked when people would, shout out artists from like New York or Atlanta and whatnot, but you never shout out, your cousin who may be rapping for the past 10 years and you don't ever share his SoundCloud.
Right.
So we wanted to learn to appreciate what we have here because what we have here is just as great as anywhere else.
Facts.
Agreed.
So
It is.
that's all. We humble today.
It's like a nice mix. You guys
Yeah,
got the
yeah,
balance.
yeah. Listen, I
Couple stunts
I
here
never
and there.
seen Sam with a Scully on. It's like he went to the hood and came back. Loving it right now.
Nah, but this is where I'm gonna say, like, I feel like you don't keep up with LFOD radio because I wear
He
this
wears it all
hat
the time.
pretty
He does.
much
He wears
every
it in, like,
episode.
pretty much
Scully's his thing. That's why I'm gonna rock.
I like that.
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen a snapback
I say
in,
that
like,
because
a
when I
month.
seen him last, he looked like John Wick.
He is John Wick. That is your nickname for our show.
The Baba Yaga.
Yeah, the Baba Yaga. The Baba Yaga. Yeah.
You should wear your face on a shirt. You really should.
Yeah.
You really should. Like,
I've
really
been,
dope.
I've been trying to embrace my natural beauty as a
As you should. I've been seeing your little photo shoots.
You should wear your hair all the way down.
Yeah, you
Sex
be-
selling,
yeah,
sex selling 2020 all year long.
I'm like, stun on him.
I like
Stun
it.
on him. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do like how you guys bring other podcasters together? Because I've met a ton of podcasters through you where I might not have met them another way. How important do you think that is, that,
Super important.
y'all are connecting?
Super important. Like, if I know you, I want Show to know you. If Show and I know you, I want Mikey to know you. And you know of Mikey too. Because when he's out and you see these guys, you can have your own personal relationship with them.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be, yo, I know Mikey because of Sam. No. You know Mikey because you had a conversation with Mikey and you guys,
build a rapport.
Yeah. It's genuine.
I've been in Mikey's kitchen.
Talk about it. That kitchen is everything. That's the spot. Yeah.
There you go.
Need some work.
I had a lot of good food that day.
It's good, right?
Yeah.
I was scared when I showed up because I brought a thing of mezcal, and then it was like I put on the counter with like 15 other bottles of liquor, and then there was like a bowl of chips, and I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, you know what time it was.
Everybody bothered.
A very productive day, and then like 40 minutes later, just trays started showing up, and then I ate so much food.
Yeah.
That was the whole point of that night where...
That's the whole point of everything we do.
Yeah.
I'm so mad I missed that.
You did.
You
We gotta have more, man. Come on,
I was gonna roll through with like 50 pancakes. I was like,
Oh, you would have been a legend that night.
Legend.
I was like,
Legend.
I'm just gonna sit there for a whole hour.
We
Like,
were talking about having like a
breakfast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was almost on time because the
Bro,
next
I've
day
been
he
planning
texted me
pancake
at like
parties.
4 o'clock, like, yo, what's the address?
You would have been a hero.
I had these problems with like cell reception. Like it's been dodgy in my own home, and so like I get his texts like 4 hours lately sometimes, or not in order. And especially with the group chat with like us and Amanda, it's like sometimes I just side text him like, what is going on?
Catch me up, bro.
No, really.
I can't understand.
All right, we're gonna go to one more break, then we'll be back for a final segment with y'all. It's Lit Boston at ItsLitBoston everywhere. Hashtag award-winning podcast.
There you go.
Hashtag
Shout out John Wick.
hashtag Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
Yo, you're tuned into LFOD Radio. All right, we're back. LFOD Radio. We got It's Lit Boston 2019 BMA Music Podcast of the Year.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Indeed,
With
indeed.
us. There's a drop for you.
Put some respect on.
But so
Official.
before we get out of here, we got a couple things. And we touched on this a bit earlier. I really feel like you guys have been in this constant conversation with your audience. Like one thing you're good at is drumming up conversation, and whether it's tagging people in or just naturally creating it. I'm curious, what's the biggest thing you've learned from your audience?
I'll let you guys go first. I've been going first. I'll go last.
Mikey, you haven't been saying much.
Yeah, right,
what-
Mike?
What's
Oh, wholesome.
Hey, I'm wholesome Mike.
Like I can't swear.
I mean,
Hey, I'm wholesome Mike.
I'm saying.
Yo,
I mean,
Wait.
We're gonna send you that clip.
Before Mike even starts, because he is new, so his level of stuff, how do you feel since you've come on?
I feel that I'm still learning.
Okay.
I feel that every week I'm getting better and better. I'm learning more. I'm being exposed to a lot more things than I wasn't before. So I've been put onto a lot of like newer artists that not newer artists, but artists that I've not heard of before, and some real dope music. So, I mean, me personally, I think that's probably one of the biggest things I'm getting out of this. My musical palette is expanding in a good way.
That's dope. That's a good answer.
I like it.
That's just a delicious,
that's-
wholesome response.
Wholesome Mike.
That's an award-winning answer.
Ooh, you potted. You potted today.
I do
Okay.
it. I do it.
You potted today.
Yes.
Shout out to Mike. Go
Word.
So what have you guys learned
ahead, Show.
For me, it's just
that they've taught you, that specifically like
The audience?
the audience? Because I know you have a relationship with your listeners.
Yeah.
they taught me to be more patient.
Okay.
Like overall. Or like-
Overall, I'm not really a patient person. I'm kind of a go kind of guy. So for my listeners, they've been patient with my growth, so I should be patient with their growth. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, a little something.
Hold on, let me.
Get it in the mic.
And they've been patient with seeing us develop as personas, and now they can set us apart. It's like Sam was talking about, yo, you know what? You gotta be a little more animated when we do. I was like, what do you think I've been doing this whole time?
No, you're right.
You know, I was like, because I wasn't always like this when we first started.
Nope.
But once the feedback is important, and I take it with a grain of salt. But once I see truth in what you're saying, my thought process is to, okay, how do I, get to where they're talking about? Because that's only helping me get better, and it's helping them talk about what we're doing to other people also. So it's not boring.
Yeah.
So that's what it taught me.
That's good. I like it. Y'all wait for me now? I've learned to appreciate the moment, because before we were really organized, I used to try to do everything, do the photos, the videos, edit stuff, edit audio, send this, talk to artists, book artists. I used to overbook.
You know what I think?
It's a lot.
I think you overworked yourself.
Yeah.
He did.
Definitely did.
You were doing way too much when you first started.
It was freaking me out. Not even gonna lie, I used to be up.
It starts to make your head spin in circles, right? I can't remember it all.
I used to double book on purpose because I felt like people would BS me.
That was the advice you gave me.
Yeah, double book, because you never know. Someone may be genuinely miss out, or they'll be like, oh, this came up, or my kid is sick, and I used to take it personal. But I learned not to take it personal. I used to just work around it. And
have they ever both come through though?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I used to do?
Just throw it
Yo,
on the
sit
side.
down. Yo, I'm gonna get you for 20 minutes. I'm gonna get you for 20 minutes.
Make it work.
I'm gonna make sure you both are appreciated. I don't want you to feel like your time is wasted, because I don't want nobody to waste my time. And if you BS us and you don't show up, I don't want to BS and not appreciate my team's time, period. Because everybody's time is priceless.
Yeah,
So, I mean, you can't get that back. But
I learned from Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
He said, number one rule, don't let anyone waste your time.
None. Facts.
All right.
I also want to say, since we've gotten to where we are now, it's been much easier for Sam and I.
Yes.
With the whole team coming on.
Yes.
AP, shout out to AP Black.
Shout out to AP.
Shout out to Rafi,
Yes.
with the photography.
And Buddha.
And Buddha, yeah. Because Buddha's been around for a jump, from the jump too.
Right.
We met him. I met him over at Cyber Sounds. He's been with Sam since the beginning.
Many hands make light work.
That's helped us out big time. When we started doing video, we taught ourselves that.
Yes.
Editing is not something I know.
This is why we relate on
Yeah,
so many levels.
you know what I'm
Everything
saying?
you're
You gotta, for you to get to where you want to be, I believe you should know what's going on. You should know how to edit. You should know how to edit audio. You should know how to edit your videos and all of that stuff. So when we first started, Sam and I would bounce and do different things. Boom, boom. He'd take the pictures and I'll edit, do all of that stuff. So that was fun to learn, and that's a skill now we have that can't nobody take away. So even, let's say we stop doing all of that, now whoever we hire to do something for us, we know what we're looking for.
Yes.
And you know what you're asking.
Exactly.
What to expect.
Exactly. So being self-taught, I think for everybody in the team, AP Black, myself, Sam, everything, us being self-taught and how to work this audio thing and this whole podcasting thing has been a great learning experience.
You know what it was? I think we took risks.
Yeah.
We're risk takers.
Yeah. Facts.
We're not afraid of messing up. We're not afraid of bringing certain guests on. We've learned how to pod around people who don't know how to have conversations.
Yeah.
We learned that everybody who comes into a podcast
I
cannot have a
know you know about that, Sam. I know you know about that. Yeah.
But that's
We're blessed to have guests.
Yeah, but it's part of the journey.
But one thing I've noticed is, even with that, a lot of times, and this is before I really got heavily involved in the podcast, I realized that you guys have the ability to bring out that thing in people. So there are people that they're not good at talking, but you guys have found ways to bring it out in them, and they actually turned out to be amazing interviews.
Yeah. And we hate the word interview.
And that's a special talent.
Yeah.
You don't like the word
I don't
interview?
like the word interview.
Okay.
Interview seems really structured.
Just conversation.
Yeah.
I call these, that's why I say, I call them conversations.
Conversations. We don't want it to feel like,
Even though we have a big list of notes,
yeah,
we're
but
still talking.
It's more about your
Okay,
style.
I have to ask the next question now.
It's how you do it. It's how you do it that makes a conversation.
Who is your biggest influence in podcasting?
Exactly.
But that's
Yeah.
what guests have said to us.
What is your birthday?
Favorite thing about their jobs.
That's what they say to us when they come on the podcast. They're like, "Yo, you guys, your vibe is so chill." I thought it was gonna be scripted questions. It was like, no, it's all organic. We're not gonna hit you with nothing that we wrote down at all, because we want it to just be a free-flowing conversation. Because when you put people in front of a microphone and lights and camera, they freeze up
all the time.
instantly.
Yeah.
It's funny because that's why we take notes, because when people aren't conversational, that's how we
Certain artists,
have
like
a way
obviously,
to
you do
keep
your
it
homework
going.
on the people that are coming up.
Yeah.
So if you do your homework about the people that's coming up, you'll know their persona already.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that we don't have questions and that like that. We will when there
Right.
is, but that's to negate the dry spell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, something I can ask you real quick in between the.
But you're also
conversation.
just having you just want to. You're supposed to be in someone's living room, kicking,
Exactly,
hanging
kicking,
out.
yeah.
And the conversations do really go
Yeah.
organically. It's just
It's so
like
organic.
we don't go into it thinking, okay, well, this is what we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
By the end of the conversation,
We
like,
covered everything.
We covered
Right.
everything and
Yeah.
more.
Listen,
Right.
our conversation be so good, we run out of space
Yeah.
on the hard
Bad
drive.
times, like all that.
Yeah.
That's why
say-
and that's the difference in format.
Yeah.
is we're like we got to do a tight 45, and you can chat. And,
Yeah.
and it's dope.
I learned a lot about you when you came on our show. You know, like how you're an artist, but at the same time, you kind of have this ethic about you that you try to
Okay.
keep that separate at the same time, so it doesn't seem like you're being biased towards things. I think that's dope as an artist to have that. 'Cause a lot of people.
We've
don't have
recently
that.
started being well, actually, we don't want to put that even energy out there, but yeah, I do think it's important to have some ethics.
Yeah.
I don't consider myself a journalist, but I guess we kind of move as if
It's moving.
we were.
What is it? Somebody. Shout out to Dutcher Bell. She at the BMA. She was like, "What's up, journalist?" And I didn't. And I was like, the next day I hit her up like, you know what? When you said that to me, I was kind of like I frowned on it, but then I realized we're just vocal people. We're just vocal journalists.
But I think it's the responsibility. I think
Yeah.
it comes down to what we were talking about earlier is responsibility.
Exactly.
Is like, I feel like even if it's something I might not necessarily like, if it's happening, I feel a certain way like acting like it's not. Like,
Exactly,
it's our
yeah.
duty to,
Bring it to light.
shine a light on it.
Exactly, yeah,
But
yeah.
there's other people who put up the blinders.
You can't.
And
I
that's
don't-
where I feel like
Yeah,
there's a
I feel like that's a
difference.
disservice.
Yeah.
Honestly, to the culture, to whatever we're involved in, to the big guys, quote unquote big guys. That's them. They don't need to cover that. They don't need. I mean, they don't want to. But us, we should, because this is our community.
Yeah.
If we don't speak about ourselves, who's going to speak about us?
That's what you learn not to misuse your platform.
Yeah.
So speaking of, we've just been talking about different formats and stuff, and in the interest of not having this run over the hour so that we can play the whole thing on FM, get you guys into people's car stereos and all that
appreciate
good
that.
stuff. I want one more thing before we do the big question, because we haven't been really messy today, and
You know what
you
time it
guys can be a bit
I don't know what's
messy,
happening right now.
which
Allegedly.
can be a bit messy. I would say you're known for your explosive commentary, but what I have
I'm
noticed
scared where this is going.
Yeah.
is because you guys are going to speak your minds, and you aren't. Sometimes you're doing it to stir things up, but sometimes I think you just say something and you're like, "Wait, I can't say that."
Yeah.
So it's not always planned. What is, and this can be different for all of you, but like, what's a comment that you made that you thought nothing of and ended up being a big deal? Or it got a
Awkward. I like how everyone's kind of bristly now.
something you just said, and then it was like, what?
Well, it's recent. That's it. Oh, my bad.
I think we have one.
What you got?
No.
Just a comment or just something in general?
Something you said, you were like, it just came out of your mouth. and
Whatever
then-
show is thinking. of.
Whenever we comment on women,
Yeah.
they bite our heads off. But like even like we'll talk about it before we record, and I'd be like, yo, no, speak your truth. Like, don't be afraid. Don't let nobody shame you or shun you to speaking your opinion. I'm never gonna be scared. I'm always with the smoke.
All with it.
Always. But I'm
Straight into the camera.
All with it.
Let you know.
All with it. Just stand on your two when we come back.
Yeah,
That's it.
That's all it is. It's like we can have a debate, a respectful debate.
Always.
Just don't be super emotional about it, because you can have your opinion and we can have a difference in opinion.
Yeah.
But it's more so about you respecting mine, I respect yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
There has
don't
to be
respect
respect
it,
with
exactly.
the
If you
conversation.
don't, God bless.
And I think people forget that as podcasters, your verbiage is important.
Yes.
How you
For real.
word things is
Yes.
important.
Yeah.
So-
What had you laughing? That's all I care about.
Oh, it's just that we had a situation actually back a few months ago, and we said some things about shout out to Pet Talk Food. I don't do subs,
Yeah.
so they had made a conversation about
Baby penis.
Yeah, there you go. I was looking for the right word. There you go.
I
And
got you.
thank you. And we took that conversation from their podcast, and we had fun with it on our podcast.
Okay.
Just to be like, hey, listen, you can say all of that, but we can also say this. Like, that's what it is. And we went on nice little fun jokes about it, and then they came back with attacks of character.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I was just like, that's not, even though, so quote unquote, not saying names and all that, but I'm like, it's chess until you say somebody else's name.
Right.
And now the game's up. So I think that was just what it was. I didn't expect what we said on our show to be taken personal.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it was taken personal, and then the attacks came. It was just like, wait, what? What's going on here? So, but that's also part of the game. It's how you navigate through those waters that I enjoy.
Genitalia is a sensitive subject.
I guess.
It really is.
That's the topic of the remark. It's not like
it was just the energy behind it.
lost.
It was just the energy behind it. It's just like you can say what you want about us, but we can also say the same thing back to you. How do you receive that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I will say that's one thing I like about what you guys do, because you've done it to us as well, is you do pay attention to other people's stuff, and then you bring it into yours, and it gives things a new
It's
life,
necessary.
longer legs. It creates the conversation keeps going.
It's necessary. If you watch the big dogs who do this, even if
Hold on, we big dogs.
we big dogs.
We award-winning big dogs.
We big dogs. Big time.
Shout out to Method Man Red.
But if you watch the people who give us the blueprint, the way you have your name be a household name is by circling your name.
Yeah.
And having those people in those same circles speak on things that you're speaking on. The only reason why people will look up to their names are in our brains is because it's been repeated over time. That's the only way you stay relevant. If you're not being spoken about by your peers, who are you?
Yeah.
At the end of the day. So that's all it is.
What would you guys say is, like, what are you known for? Like when people come on your podcast or like on your radio show?
I would
like us
say,
specifically, or like
I would say we're known for in-depth interviews.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are always like, you hit everything, or like, and more, and they appreciate the angles and the creativity of the questions.
Okay.
For us, it's more so like, I've heard about y'all. I gotta be careful.
1,000 on that, yeah. But I like you guys' stuff because it helps me personally to get hip to more artists.
Yes.
And
That's the goal.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the way you approach
jobs,
the conversation, it's like you talk to the artists from a point of understanding and seeing, also helping them bring out their persona, so that like it's not just the music people are getting. It's like, I got a little something underneath also.
Yep.
And you show the brilliance. Like you had he's from Mattapan. I forgot his name, but he said
Noom.
that. What?
Numera?
Yeah, Numera. He was like,
Mattapan was very much in the studio.
yeah. I like that energy that he gave off. I was like, he was
Carried it
really,
with him.
he stood on his twos on that. He stamped down. I was like, I respect that. Because he might not be the best, but to himself, he thinks he's the best.
That's how you should be.
As he should be.
Easy Money told us that, like, one of the first interviews we did.
Shout out to
It was
Easy
like,
Money.
if you don't feel like you're the best rapper, like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Like,
Now you see why I keep saying
That's a good
award-winning podcast. You know me.
But that's an energy that it's more collaborative now. And we could
Exactly.
talk about that for hours, about how the culture has changed there.
Yeah.
But yo, I appreciate y'all coming up.
Thank you, man. This was
Appreciate you
fun.
having us.
Yeah.
Dope.
Word.
I'm glad we waited for the proper time. If
Timing
we
is
had had it
everything,
earlier, you wouldn't be able to get this trophy talk off.
Oh, yeah.
I would definitely say this. This is the first time we've recorded when we didn't swear.
Facts. Well, we try not to.
Yeah.
I've been real careful.
Made the effort at least.
Yeah, definitely. I'm usually dropping.
Something will come out, yeah.
Yeah.
Something will
Yeah,
come
I tried. I got the hoodie on today, so I had to do a little. I had to keep it. I had to keep it a character. I had to keep it a character.
But yeah, I appreciate y'all coming out.
Appreciate you.
Much continued success. I can't wait to see where it goes.
Yeah.
Because like I said, since I've tuned in, it's been clear that you've been studying and sharpening, and you keep on pushing it.
Thank you.
Keep that
Appreciate
energy.
you, man. And thank you guys for your support too.
Yeah,
You guys have
likewise.
been really like behind us on a lot of things.
Definitely.
So appreciate
Yeah.
y'all. I love the side conversations and everything.
Yeah.
You showing up to stuff is like really great.
We're gonna do something. I've had a couple ideas while we're talking. I think we're gonna do something really big
Awesome. Let's
very
talk.
soon.
Hell yeah.
Let's talk pancake parties.
Ooh, you know what time it is. Hey,
That's
Paul
what
knows
I'm
what's
about,
up.
flapjacks.
He knows what's up.
Straight up.
Oh yeah.
So
Especially with the weather getting nice. Definitely dope.
yeah.
Even if it's cold, we
In the
just like
yard?
bring people in. Like,
The
come in
weather's
warm.
definitely getting nice. We're speaking that into
Yeah.
then spring is
Oh,
here.
another
It's
thing.
around the corner.
Before we wrap up,
No, it's not.
we need
it is.
more.
It is, but we have the thick of the cold.
Let him finish.
It's March right now, dude. It's March.
Yeah.
It's March.
Smart.
That is
It's March
Yeah.
24th.
It's March.
That's right.
So the grill will be coming out.
Oh
The
yeah.
grill is already
grill
on
will
deck.
I dabble a little, yes.
No, I grill.
I miss y'all smoothies.
I love grilling. That's my thing. If y'all ever see my stuff, I love grilling steak tips. I love chicken wings, ribs, all of that. That's my thing. I love it.
We gotta have a big
Battle of the Ribs.
big cookout.
Yeah, let's get to it.
All right.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay, yo, we're gonna.
Let's do it up, man. Let's have a good
Okay.
time.
Excited now, right?
Before I
Yeah, I'm
finish,
hungry.
I'm hungry now.
Can I say this?
Yeah.
We definitely need more of this right here. Podcasters, all you creatives out there, there's pockets of us and we all do different things, but I feel like if we don't need to be buddy-buddy, that's not what I'm saying, but understanding that we have something that we can gain from each other and help each other out, sky's the limit.
Hell
No
yeah.
glass ceiling.
Yeah.
Shout out to Miss 5678 and the Dancer Report.
Ooh.
A Boston dance podcast. I just
Newly
found,
discovered.
Yeah,
Really?
I just found out about it like 2 days ago.
DM
crumping on it?
send it, yes.
No.
Send it to
But
us.
now
Is it
I'm gonna
good?
try to get
Is
on
it
the
a good podcast?
podcast and get interviewed. But
It's a good podcast?
It is.
Send it over.
Oh, very
Let's
good.
get to
Very
it.
good.
Send it
Listen to
over.
it.
Hell yeah.
We'll get in touch with the dancers around here.
So thank
And
y'all.
public communities.
At ItsLitBoston on everything.
Yes.
Leave them comments, send them DMs, follow them first. ItsLitBoston at Gmail.
It's LFOD Podcast.
ItsLitBoston Podcast
All
at
one word.
gmail.com.
Yep.
And we'll be back next week with more. Make sure you subscribe to get that right away. We are on most podcast apps, but if you can't find us on yours, let us know and we'll get it added. You can keep up with us at LFOD Radio or LFOD Life on Facebook. We are on YouTube too. If you haven't checked that out yet, we have video from interviews, extra bars, live event footage. I think we're about to do something with y'all that's going to end up on YouTube. I don't know what it is. I'm very excited. I'm on a road trip right now. We'll definitely have stuff from that up there, artists from all over the country. Huge shout out to our patrons, patreon.com/LFODlife, and artists and managers, submissions at LFODradio.com. And we could not sign off without thanking the record company, Pavement Coffee, and
Yeah,
everyone on the
beautiful
LFOD squad, A-Ball, Amanda, Thomas, Christiana, etc.
And you.
etc. And me. Oh,
Baba
thank
Yaga.
you.
Bye.
Baba Yaga.
Are we going to ask them the question or no?
I don't know
What's
if we
the
have time.
question?
Do you
We
want
have
to?
time?
What's the question?
What does live free or die mean to you?
Ooh.
We got 3 answers, so let's make them dope.
I'll let y'all know.
No pressure.
No glass ceiling.
Good. Can you say that
What?
again?
No glass ceiling.
Okay. That speaks for
Right.
itself.
I gotta think.
We almost had a bow on it.
Yeah. Like, damn, I didn't want to say nothing. Like,
We can put this in the bonus episode.
Yeah.
We can also edit too, so
Well,
take your
Mike.
time.
Live free or die. I mean, that's an interesting thing to me, being past military and all that. You know what I mean? So I'm all about personal freedoms. I'm all about having the freedom so that it's not infringed, and you can do whatever you want, and you can grow as high as you can be without being restricted from outside constraints that shouldn't be on you. So I think that's kind of where I'm at.
Like shaking the negative energy.
Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you for serving, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Look.
What's the mic?
for me, I would say it's speak your truth. Don't be afraid to speak on where you've been to where you are now and to where you want to be. Dang, I'm in my bag today. Really? Listen, I gotta put the cup down. Slit.
We definitely do bring the best out of our
You do?
guests.
Yeah.
You do.
We line
It's the sky blue shirt, man.
the
I wore this
cosmos.
just for you.
I was actually gonna
Cosmos
wear
are
your
lining.
shirt today, but I was like, no, let me chill. Let me chill.
I appreciate that.
I got it. I'm gonna wear it tomorrow too.
Tag us.
I am. You know I did last time.
Yeah, I know.
Right in the gym.
No, but I realized sky blue is it's the Boston color. You know,
It is. It is. That is our vibe.
Yeah.
Sky blue.
Sky blue.
That is our vibe.
I got the hat. It's teal.
Yeah.
You know.
This says locals only.
Ooh.
Okay. Hang ten.
You know what I mean?
All right.
All right, we're getting out of here. LFOD Radio.
Peace, y'all.
Back.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy AP Black. Hope you're having an amazing day. I hope you know that today is a great day for some peace, prosperity, and harmony, and I hope you're receiving all three. This is a poem that I wrote called Lost Souls. Peace. Another lost soul questions the quest as she sits on the train, leaves the trips to her brain. Her eyes are slits to fix the cold in her veins, her residence equivalent to where the soldiers are slain. With her Folgers for the voyage, cause her soul will get drained. Eyes behind the tinted shields intact, her soul will remain. But who controls the propane? At least controlling the flame first, she was cutting the rug. And now she's poking her veins, and when the streets bring her up, there ain't no hope in her name. She's seen her brothers grow up, and ain't no hope in the game. Her brother's fingers threw up what put them both in the grave, and she hoped, and she prayed for a savior to raise her. They just made her a slave to the dangers of strangers, and age just propelled all her problems, and she turned to the bottle to solve them. And she just wanted to be free. She just want to get fly, so she's rolling with me. She said, let's take it far away, where sunshine goes to play, and good times never seem to get old. In the land of lost souls, we can go far away. Let's touch the stars today, and good times never seem to get old. And she could wear like every single color outfit in a closet, but Gucci fine print doesn't show you how it started. Shorty had her eyes glued to the tube, and she was just another shorty trying to party on some star. So she hit the strip, start no cautions. Little taste of money made her open up her options, and she started selling body parts like an auction to the highest bidder. Johns that would hit her. She turned to the beats cause the beatings made her bitter, and her dreams are coming back cause she felt herself admiring a mother who could comfort with the touch of a mane. Bass sound drowning demons, a glimpse stirred a cauldron of pain, and the overtones are calling her name, the block calling her shame, cause the world, girl's path seems grim, but she only sees in BPMs her only medium to release these demons, and she's just looking for a place where rhyming grace is flowing down by her toes. And maybe she don't gotta keep speaking in code, and maybe even try to keep on her clothes. But who knows? This is the land of lost souls. Peace.